Good afternoon, everybody. We'd like to welcome you and thank you for joining DoubleRadius and Ubiquiti today for a special webinar entitled Ubiquiti World Network Local Advertising Guide. My name is Chad Crossland and I'm the Marketing Manager at DoubleRadius. For those who aren't familiar with DoubleRadius, we are a value-added global distributor of Ubiquiti. In addition to supplying Ubiquiti products, DoubleRadius also offers expert technical services, volume discounts, and financing programs for Ubiquiti products. You can learn more at www.doubleradius.com. Okay, now that housekeeping is done, I would like to turn this over to JT from Ubiquiti so we can get things started.
Thanks, Chad. First off, I want to thank all of you for joining us today. I know you're all busy, so we hope that what we will be sharing with you today will help you take your businesses to the next level. So before I begin, I want to take the opportunity to introduce everyone that will be presenting today. And I'll start with myself. I'm John So. I go by JT. You probably see my moniker on the forum somewhere, UBNTJT. And I'm part of Ubiquiti, and I run special projects. And with me on the phone today, and they'll be presenting to you some strategies, some techniques, some ideas, will be the DGWB team.
So good morning, everybody. My name is Jonathan Brown, and I'm Creative Director for DGWB Advertising. And we're an advertising agency here in Southern California. And we've got clients as diverse as Hilton Garden Inn, Toshiba Copiers, and even Children's Hospital of Orange County. But quite honestly, we're extremely proud to work with Ubiquiti, the Ubiquiti World Network, and you, because we love clients that are thinking different, that are thinking new. And I'm teeing myself up for my part of the presentation, but you really represent the future. You've got a great story to tell. And that's what we're looking forward to in this webinar. So thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Kathy Sosa. I'm the Media Director at DGWB. And as Jonathan said, we're really excited. I've been actually working with JT and his team on placing the national media that you've possibly seen running.
Hi, I'm Tom Meyer. I'm Account Director here at DGWB. And we've been working with Ubiquiti for the past year and developing out a lot of the materials that I'm going to be taking you through today. And I'm going to be showing you how to really implement these in your local market.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So before we begin, I want to take some time to introduce what the Ubiquiti World Network is for those of you who are not familiar with it. So simply put, the Ubiquiti World Network is a technology platform and advertising campaign designed to unite our industry into a viable competitor against the phone and cable companies. So our biggest goal in general from all the research we've done is that we lack visibility as an industry. So our goal is to get a message out there so that people know that there's another option for high-speed internet. So when they move into their new homes or their new businesses, they know that there's another option other than the phone and cable companies. And so far, for the 6 months that we've launched this program, we've seen a lot of success stories. But with that being said, we want to continue to improve the program. So I'd like to take some time to share some updates that we'll be rolling out before we get into the local advertising guide. So first off, and many of you haven't seen this yet, but this is our current coverage map. As you know, we've only covered the continental United States, and this is what we have so far, and I think we've done pretty good. If you compare us to the WISP map in the lower left-hand corner, we actually match up pretty well. And if you compare it to the cable map in the lower right-hand corner, we're quickly catching up. But our goal is to improve upon this, make this even more rich, more full, and this is why we're continuing to improve the process. So the first of our updates is we're adding 2 new templates on top of all the other templates we have. As you know, we offer television and web, radio, billboards, postcards, lawn signs, door hangers, and flyers. But today, and very soon, we'll be pushing out outdoor banners as well as newspaper ads. We're also going to be pushing out new and redesigned pages. If you go to ubiquiti.com, it's just a simple search field, but we decided that we wanted to add a little bit more richness to the page. So as you can see, this will be our new homepage. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Ubiquiti World Network, they'll go ahead, a new customer will come in and type their address, their city or zip code into this, and they'll land on our new, updated, redesigned search results page. And if you're part of the Ubiquiti World Network and someone searches for you in your area or close to your area, you're going to show up on this page. Of course, you'll get a vendor page like this. And so this is where you can put your products, your plans, your contact information, and some customer reviews. So this is how a new customer would potentially reach out to you. And then finally, we're going to add a welcome page to the admin section of the Ubiquiti World Network. And what this is going to do is it's going to help build the community, keep everyone updated on the latest updates that we have for the program. So therefore, it's just another place for us to get the word out about all the exciting new things and new tools that we'll be investing into the Ubiquiti World Network. With that being said, on July 21st, we're going to start the national campaign again. And what this is just air cover. This affects everyone. We're going to be running this on DirecTV and Dish Network nationally so that all of you can benefit from some of this air cover. And then finally, we're going to begin international expansion. And for those of you who are already in the Ubiquiti World Network, you would have seen that we've added countries to this. So far, we're going to only do English-speaking countries, but we're going to be quickly adding all the other countries once we get our backend in order. All right. So with that, I'm going to hand this off to DGWB. They have a whole bunch of new ideas, things to share with you. For those of you who are new to the program, just an introduction to all the things that Ubiquiti World Network can offer you guys.
So good morning again, everybody. And I'm going to take a moment to reintroduce the campaign. I know a lot of you on the line are already part of the Ubiquiti World Network, and we're going to learn more about tactics and objectives. But for those of you that are new, this is a little bit of a refresher about what it's all about. So it's up there loud and proud. The future can't wait. That's our campaign line. And what that really means is big cable companies, big phone companies, they're too slow. Their wires, their cables aren't reaching the customers they need to serve. But you're the future. You're doing it with new products, new services, new technology. So the future is connectivity, and it can't wait for somebody else to get a wire there. You're not waiting. So I think it's this wonderful big idea about stepping over and stepping up. And the other unique thing about this is I've never really seen this before, where a national company partners with little companies all over America, all over the world, and says, let's come together to create a network so our message is stronger together. And probably the best way to understand this message is actually to play the commercial that we made that every one of you have a stake in. So, JT, if you could bring up that video, that would be fantastic.
We don't see things the way they are. We see them as they should be. It's always faster this, smaller that, better everything. And the way we see it, the internet's in a rut. Literally. The big cable and phone companies, they're slowly digging ditches to bring you high-speed internet. And you're left to wait. But we're not waiting. We're putting high-speed internet where it belongs. We're taking it to the skies and shooting it across the country. And not just for some, for everyone in every corner. Today's internet is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's running so many things, businesses, schools, lives, and more, way more. Now there's a new choice, and it's here to connect you to everything that matters most. You can't wait for high-speed internet, and thanks to the world's fastest growing network, you won't have to. The future can't wait. Welcome to the Ubiquiti World Network. Don't wait, connect now.
That's our commercial, but that's really the tip of the iceberg. We've got so many other ways for you to get your message out. But I think the key thing is this is new, this is better, this is a new choice that others don't have, and together we do this. So it's not just Ubiquiti, it's you and Ubiquiti coming together. So let's go on to the main event if we can. So just to reprise, what we're going to talk to you about, really, this is the meat and potatoes. We've shown you the big campaign, but networking the network is all about taking those free materials that we've provided to you. All you have to do is print them, put them together, is activating it in your community, your town, your place of business, and bringing this to life at a local grassroots level. So let's go on from here. What we're going to talk about, first of all, I'm going to get in slow, and then we're going to give you a lot of information, but these are the basics. So we're going to talk about, and it seems remedial, but I promise you it's not, we're going to talk about objectives. What do you want to achieve? And we're going to talk about tactics. the actions that you're going to take to achieve your objectives. It sounds really basic, but I promise you, follow along and it makes sense. So this is a poor objective, and it sounds silly, but I'm going to increase my number of customers, and I'm going to expand my service area. Well, on the face of it, that sounds smart. I'm going to grow, and I'm going to get bigger, and I'm going to make more money. Why is that poor? It's poor because it doesn't really have measurable parameters put against it. And it's really important to have very specific goals so you can track and see how your marketing is doing, what's working, what's not working, what you need to adjust. This is a good objective. Why is it good? Because it's measurable. Increase customer base by 15% over the next 12 months. All right, I know what I'm doing now. I've got 1,500 customers today. In a year's time, I'm going to get 150 more. That's just an example. You may have loftier goals than that, but now it's measurable. I know what I'm trying to achieve. And I'm going to put more service into 2 areas north of town that I'm not in now, and that's where I'm going to grow my customer base. So I've got 2 measurable objectives, and that's why this is a good objective, because I can go back and see how I'm doing and what's working and what's not against this. So let's go on again. And go. All right, so we start our tactics, we start marketing in our local community, but as we're doing that, what's really important is to, as the leads are coming in, as you're getting feedback, as you're booking appointments, it's a very basic thing, but ask them, hey, how did you hear about us? Or maybe they called in on a specific Google number that you set up that you know only comes from one area that you're marketing in. It's very important to know where your leads are coming from, because if it's working in this area with that particular tactic, that's what you want to do more about. So know where your stuff is coming from. Track it. Move on. How did that campaign work? Well, I saw activity tracking studies showed that it worked here, here, and here. Those met the goals, those didn't. I'm not going to do the lawn signs anymore, but I am going to do the direct mail. That's what it told me. And then what you want to do is, with that information from tracking and checking, do it again. Feed it back into the wheel. Don't stop. So it sounds like it never ends, but what you're really doing is measuring, checking, and doing the right thing, and doing more of what works and less of what doesn't. And that's why you need a good goal to work against. So very simply, we've spoken about objectives that are measurable and a strategy that makes sure you're tracking and measuring what you're doing. So we're going to go forward, and I'm going to kick it over to Kathy now.
Sure. So Tom and I will split the tactical part. I'm going to talk to you more about the mass media in the marketplace, and Tom will talk to you more about the ground level. And we all know that, consumers need multiple touch points to accelerate their path to purchase. So unless somebody sees something multiple times or understands it or is in the market for it, so that's why you need to be wherever they are in order to get them to change their behavior. And television is still one of the largest reach and the fastest way to reach your marketplace. Even though people say TV is dying, it still is the quickest way to reach your marketplace. And when I'm talking about TV, I'm not just talking about buying the local channels, ABC, CBS, NBC, which would be great. If you can afford to do that, that's where you need to start, because that's where you'll get the biggest bang. So there are other areas that you can run your TV spot, such as on cable, in sports and news, CNN, Fox, on ESPN. Those are all alternatives. People do not usually skip. They usually watch live, so your spots will run live. There are local channels that run the local high school sports. You need to get on those. Think about movie theaters, health clubs. All of those outlets have TV screens that your spot can show on, bowling alleys, gas stations, even Walmart TV. You can run your spot on the video on your webpage or on your social site. So there's multiple ways of running TV. If you are buying TV in the marketplace, you really should take a look at buying against your demo, which is adults 25 to 54. Not to say that you're not going to reach younger or older. You will, but that's your sweet spot So if you buy that sweet spot, you'll get programming that delivers strongly against them. And we recommend a minimum 2-week flights. It takes about 2 weeks for people to remember your spot. So, you know, when you buy it, make sure you have it flighted so that people don't buy like 1 week or a couple of spots here or there. That's not going to work. So just save your money up, buy a couple weeks of flights, and then you'll get more visibility. But regardless of where you run it, the highly produced spot that Jonathan showed you really will give you an aura of being a big player in the marketplace. Another great way to get the message out is through radio. And radio really helps, typically works as a complement to TV to get your message out multiple times. But in markets where TV is not affordable, think about some of the other areas I said to show you a spot. Maybe you buy theater advertising, maybe you buy, you know, Walmart TV or something. Buy the radio on top of that, because that's another touch point for consumers. And when you're buying radio in the marketplace, try to buy multiple stations. You can't just buy one station. In order for you to get the reach up enough so that the marketplace can hear you, you have to at least reach about 70% of the market, and that usually requires multiple stations. Typically, it's between 18 to 24 spots a week on each station for you to get to that kind of reach. So there's 2 ways that you can get radio. One is through the live read script that Ubiquiti provides, and you can hand that to a local DJ. They can read it live. You get the perception of an endorsement there. They're not really endorsing it, but people think they are because the DJ read it. So that's a nice way of getting into the marketplace. Or you can run the recorded customized spots. So both ways work. It would be nice if you could do a mixture of both in the market, but either way, it'll work. And then always remember to negotiate added value. The stations are always doing events. They're at concerts, they're at rodeos, they're at fairs, they're at the beach, they're at the lake. Just remember, take advantage to get involved with the station to get out there. And maybe you can provide, I don't know if it's possible, but if you can provide like wireless for the day for their event as trade. So think of all the ideas that you can get into the marketplace through radio and have the DJ support it. But the other way of getting out really is out of home. So outdoor is another medium to keep your message in front of the marketplace. And when we talk about outdoor, we're not saying to put up a sign in front of your place of business, but really to take a look at highly trafficked areas so that, you know, people can see you every day going to and from work, to and from, you know, whatever they're doing. So you're in everyone's face, the highest impressions that you can get. So there are 3 companies that you can buy boards from, Lamar, CBS, and Clear Channel. And in some markets, you do have independent people that own boards, whether it's on their land or their building. Just ride your market, find boards that you would love in highly trafficked areas, and then call up and find out, okay, is this board available? If it is, I would suggest look for a long-term contract if it's a really good board, or you can look for a contract where you can buy 2 or 3 boards in the market and have the company rotate your ad around those boards. So that way you're getting coverage in the entire market for the price of 1 board. And boards are bought primarily on impressions or the number of people that see it every day, so it can range from a couple $100s to upwards of $20,000 a month. But like I said, find a great location, negotiate a good contract, either rotating contract or a long-term contract for a really great board, and then make sure you negotiate. You know what, the first number they give you is always negotiable. So you give them what you think is right and work backwards from there. A lot of times, if they haven't sold a board, they will give you a great deal. Next slide. And newspapers are still important to consumers. People talk about newspapers being dead. They're not dead yet. A lot of markets, the major papers in the market still have 60-70% reach into the marketplace. So it's definitely a consideration. Sunday papers are what we're recommending. People really still turn to their Sunday papers for sales, to look what's going on in the market, for information. And the nice thing is that they're in a leisurely mindset, so they're more apt to read about new technology and new offerings in the marketplace. So I would say, talk to the rep at the newspaper and understand their rates and sizes. You can save money by doing combination rates. A lot of times the papers have discount sales or special sections that are cheaper, and you look at the volume that you're running. So if you're running 10 ads over the course of 2 months or 3 months, you can get a discount for the volume rate. And we're recommending at least a quarter-page minimum. I wouldn't go lower than that when you're first starting out because you'll get lost in the package. Great if you could do a half page or a full page, even better, but don't go below a quarter page. And if you have multiple newspapers in the market, focus on running in a major paper consistently. Don't try to spread your ad across 3 papers and you run 2 or 3 times each. I would recommend taking those 6 insertions and running them in 1 paper, throughout the course of your advertising campaign. So I'm going to turn you over to Tom now, who will talk to you more about the direct marketing and getting more grassroots marketing.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Kathy just took you through ways to get your name out in the community using mass media like TV and radio. I'm going to take you through some less expensive ways in reaching new customers, and I've seen some of your comments about TV that it is quite expensive. However, marketing does work best when you have a big message like on TV so people are aware of your brand, and then you're coupling that with ground marketing. And so we're going to get into some of this ground marketing. So as we've been working with Ubiquiti World Network, you have access to several postcard designs to combat local DSL, local cable companies, and then there's also versions where there's really no competition. But the great thing about direct mail is direct. It goes right to the homes where you want to reach it. So there's 2 approaches for direct mail. There's the shotgun approach and there's a rifle approach. So shotgun, just the way the gun works too, it really covers a wide area where the rifle is more concentrated and on a narrowly defined target. So I'm going to give you 2 examples. So for a shotgun approach, you can use the U.S. Postal Service EDDM program, which stands for Every Door Direct Mail. And basically you send your message, your postcard, out to every home in a zip code, or even you can get it a little bit smaller to a carrier route. So, but you still reach every home in that area. Where a rifle approach would be like if you go to your county recorder or you work with a local title company, you could obtain addresses for new homeowners. This way you can target just the new homeowners in an area that you already service. So let's say you have pretty good penetration in an area, but you haven't reached those new homeowners that may not know your service. This is a great way to get their addresses through a title company and be able to target them. The slide's already up, so we'll just keep talking about that. So direct mail has about a 1 to 2% return. Now, if you're getting better than 2%, that's awesome. Keep going with it. But let's take a quick example of how the payoff is on direct mail. So if you mail 5,000 postcards, you can expect anywhere from 50 to 100 leads. And then let's say you close 40% of those leads. So that means you have about 20 to 40 new customers based upon this direct mail campaign. So looking at the return of investment, so you have those 20 to 40 new customers times $40 a month. You may be higher, so that's even your bigger payoff, times a 2-year agreement. Comes in anywhere from $19,200 to $38,400 for something that costs less than $1,600 to mail. So there's a big payoff, big payoff when you use direct mail because of the cost is pretty low and the leads are pretty high. Great. So postcards aren't just for mailing. So if you think about what other industries that are out there that are always looking to drive leads, and to take one cue, I don't mean to put your face on in your business card, but if you look at real estate agents, they're probably the best example of really ground marketing. So one of the things that they do really effectively is they use the calendar to their benefit. So they look for themes in the calendar through holidays, times of like back to school. So they're really effective at using that calendar for their marketing. So let's take a couple ideas. So April. You can use seed packets for springtime and stand out in front of hardware stores or grocery stores. For 4th of July, you can distribute U.S. flags in neighborhoods that you want to target along with your postcard. October is Fire Safety Month. You can distribute batteries for smoke detectors along with your postcards. December, staple hand warmers to your postcards, pass them out during the holiday business season. And one WISP even reported that they bought a bunch of Girl Scout cookies, and then they passed them out along with their postcards in front of a local store. So we're going to talk about hitting the streets. So besides mailings, there's plenty of opportunities you can do to get your name out in the community that's free. We're going to talk about flyers. So it's pretty surprising, but something as simple as a flyer with tear-off can be an easy way to get leads. So you can keep these in your trucks and post them when you find a good spot. So flyers can be hung up on community boards in many locations like laundromats, grocery stores, coffee shops, bus stops, college campuses. These are all great ways to reach potential customers with a really cheap flyer that you all have artwork that's available to you through the Ubiquiti World Network. Now, I saw some comments come up earlier about door hangers, and door hangers really work well because they're unexpected and they're right in a place where you can't ignore them. So it obviously takes time to walk a neighborhood and post these up on people's doors. So, hire some college kids via Craigslist to go out and distribute the door hangers. Make sure you want to follow up with them so you can probably drive the neighborhood to make sure you see the door hangers up. Or even better is give the college kids a piece of the action so that you can ensure that on every lead, so you can ensure that when they distribute the door hangers and are talking to people that you're getting the leads. Now, just like postcards, you can use these door hangers in a bunch of different places. So I've already seen on the board that people are exchanging free Wi-Fi for ad space. Well, you can do the same with a local promotion with local companies. So dry cleaners, think about the door hangers. They fit perfectly on a batch of clean clothes. So you put them over the hanger, the dry cleaner hands out with every person picking up their dry cleaning, and there's your door hanger. Car washes. Go in and talk to the owner, offer him free Wi-Fi. People got to stand around and wait for their cars to be done. You can offer a free access point that way. But then also the car washers can hang your door hanger on the rear view mirror, so when somebody gets in their car, boom, there's your message. And then there's not a better local delivery service in any town than the local pizza shop. So most of these guys are willing to trade and do business because they're looking to expand their business while you're looking to expand your business. Is have them put your door hanger on top of the pizza box with every single order that goes out. You can give them free Wi-Fi service in exchange for them doing this. So besides all the ideas that I just mentioned for hitting the street, the Ubiquiti Field Guide has more ideas on how you can reach potential customers and get your name out in local communities through sponsorships of Little League teams and youth soccer fields, high school events, free access points, as we sort of talked about. Where are people sitting and have a lot of time on their hands? Coffee shops, doctorate offices, laundromats are great ways to get people to try your service. And then also joint promotions. Find those local companies in your towns that are looking to do joint promotions. So you're all going to get a copy of the field guide after this meeting, and it's going to go more in depth on some of these tactics. So there's no better way to get new customers than through referrals. And many times all you have to do is ask your current customer to spread the word, and they'll be happy to share the information with neighbors and coworkers. So one of the ways to spread the word is, and I've seen some postings that people are already using the lawn sign. So lawn signs are a great way to obviously announce to neighbors that you have installed in their neighborhood. So, get the new customer to agree to put up your lawn sign in their front yard. And so yard signs are also included, so you have all the artwork available to you that you can download or have printed. Then, so besides the lawn signs and asking current customers to spread the word, many WISPs have established referral programs by giving 1 month free for each referral that leads to a new customer. We had a WISP report that they had a waitress in their town that has never paid for her service because she provides leads to the WISP on an ongoing basis. And you want more referrals? Well, check your Yelp review. This is where customers are talking about you and your services. So you may not even know what their comments are, so you always should check your Yelp page. And you may not even know that you have one, but you probably do. Some customers probably reviewed you. And if you haven't done it already, you should go ahead and claim your Yelp page so you can thank customers for great reviews and address those that aren't so glowing. Also, claiming your page will allow you to add photos. You can include service areas. You can put some more information about your business. Plus, it's free. So make sure you ask happy customers to post their reviews on Yelp. It's just like asking for a referral, and I would do the same thing for Facebook. Have customers go ahead and post their comments that they're happy with their service on your Facebook page. And then finally, the last slide, summer is a perfect time to get out in your community and build your name at local fairs, Little League, soccer games, church events, you name it. So as a member of the Ubiquiti World Network, there's banners, there's artwork for the event banners. So remember that every marketing piece that we talked about today, from TV and radio to postcards and flyers, are all customizable with your company's name, your phone number, your web address. All you need now to do is go out there and use these marketing pieces. So we want to leave enough time for Q&A, so I'm going to turn it back over to JT.
All right, thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. So for those of you who are already part of the Ubiquiti World Network, I really hope that this presentation will give you some ideas and give you another alternative avenue to use some of the tools that we've given you in unconventional ways, and hopefully those work out better than you. For those of you who are new, again, all these assets are free to you. All you have to do is take care of distribution. But again, being part of the Ubiquiti World Network, and again, we have big plans for it. Again, we're constantly adding new things, and hopefully we'll have a really awesome arsenal of tools as well as ads to help you guys out. So for those of you who haven't signed up, you can get an account at goubiquiti.com/signup. It's a very simple sign-up process. And for those of you who have any questions, or those of you who've been working on the Ubiquiti World Network and you want to ask me some things personally, you can just reach out to me at uwn@ubnt.com. So with that, we're going to open it up for Q&A. So everyone just put in your questions into the chat box, and we'll go ahead and answer the questions to the best of our ability, and as many of them with the time that we have left up. So I'm going to set up the page, and we'll go from there. In a second. All right, so let's open it up for Q&A. Can we have a different template and images for printed materials in the future? So Ken, the answer is, yeah, we'll definitely see what, the answer is I'm not sure yet. So we want to see how far we can go with the current set that we have. But I mean, an idea that came up on the forums was maybe creating a repository of different ads or different templates that all the WISPs have been using for their own businesses. So perhaps we can all share the assets that we all use individually for our businesses, put them all in one place, and we could possibly share them with each other. And that way, instead of using our campaign, you can have a bigger selection to use from. For those of you who like using the Ubiquiti World Network, it's there for you, it's free for you, and DGWB has done an amazing job. All right. Carla Nolag, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. How much is artwork for a billboard? Again, the artwork is free. All the artwork is free. So again, you don't have to hire designers. You don't have to hire a writer. You don't have to hire a production artist. Just submit it to the Ubiquiti World Network. We'll get back to you. For a billboard, it's about a 2 to 3 day turnaround. But again, we'll send you back that file, and you just go work with your local vendor in terms of distributing the billboard. All right. When do you plan to incorporate more South American countries? I know for a fact that we're looking at Brazil beginning of next year. So when it's summer in Brazil, we're looking to expand there. In terms of Spanish-speaking countries, I think we might be going out at the same time. Again, I have to talk to the engineering team, but it's definitely, again, this is a world network. So yes, we will be incorporating everybody sometime next year for South American countries. Can we add a second phone number? The use of the one number in one area and the second in another. Jason, why don't you email me at uwn@ubnt.com, and I can see what you're trying to do, and possibly I can help you out with that. All right, so Aaron, do you plan to run those UWN ads more? I still have yet to see one on the TV. As I mentioned earlier, we will be running the TV ads again starting next week, and hopefully you'll be able to see them. All right, any more questions? I'm going to go up the line.
Was JT is sort of just scrolling up and looking, if it's okay, I'd love to make a quick comment. As we were presenting, what's really exciting is to see how vibrant and collaborative your community is, how much you're sharing ideas. And I think that can't be put too much emphasis on, is that you are a network, and different things work for different people in different places. So again, I think the important thing to say is, what way work in one community might not work in another. So do have good objectives, do track your tactics and see what's working, and then share that with other people and say, hey, this worked for us. I saw people talking about Facebook. Saw some people say, hey, TV worked for me. No, TV didn't work for me. So depending on your community, and a lot of communities are different from each other, figure out what works for you. Make sure you track it and then share it with the rest of the network, because I think we all benefit by a lift in different areas, because we're not small now, we're not individual, we're a national brand, and I think that's the power of the network.
Okay, so a lot of you guys are just going through, you guys are answering your own questions, so that's really cool. So let me see if there's any more questions. So Marcos, yes, absolutely. I think I'm going to create a place where you guys can share artwork and share other options for each other. And again, for those of you who can't find anything you don't like, or again, just don't have the money to run your own campaign, again, we have assets for you. Can you explain leads from UWN? I haven't gotten to you, but it doesn't show up on the website. Also no leads for a while. Okay, so Fred, we haven't ran our campaign for a while. We ran them early, but we haven't done the national campaign. So what the website is doing right now is we're setting things up for later. So what happens is we got the website up early, but the main reason why is because it takes a while for each one of your WISP pages to populate into Google. And so our big hope and our big aspiration is to get all these WISPs into the World Network and then link up with Google so that all your ads go up. So for example, like Fred from Pleasanton, like if someone were to type in Pleasanton, Texas, broadband internet into Google search or into Yahoo search, what we'd love to have is that Ubiquiti World Network listing just pop up in the search results. Victor in Spain, yes, we do plan to start the Ubiquiti World Network in Spain. It's just going to take a little bit of time. But again, it's a big world out there. We're trying to roll out to as many countries as possible. Murray, is Unified Product part of UWN? No, it isn't. Ubiquiti World Network is its own standalone thing. So what it is it's a set of tools. So for example, some of you may be familiar with our first tool that we have going out the door, for example, like billing, but we're also going to have network management and a bunch of other things that you're going to use. And on top of it, it's also an advertising campaign. So again, we offer the ads and most people associate Ubiquiti World Network with those ads. But really what it is, it's a set of tools. It's a website where anyone can go and search for a WISP in the world. And then the third part of it is a set of tools.
JT, I saw a couple of questions on Pandora and Hulu Plus.
Okay.
And, both very viable. Pandora is actually the #1 station in quite a few, especially in the larger markets now. So yes, you can run both video and audio on Pandora. So I would recommend using the TV spots for that, and definitely for Hulu. Of course, the people who are running it now probably have internet access, because that's what you pretty much watch it or listen to it on, but they could be listening at work, or they could be with a cable company, and this is an option for them to change. So yes, by all means, those are two very viable means of getting the message out.
Quickly, Marcos, if you get a chance, can you email me at uwn@ubnt.com? I want to get this artwork repository going. Again, we want to give you guys as many options as possible. Anthony just answered. Murray. Anyone use these tools to help market to business rather than consumer? I guess that's an answer to the crowd. All right, we're going to keep questions up for 5 more minutes, and then we're going to wrap this up. But again, like I just want to reiterate that the Ubiquiti World Network is just a whole host of tools. You can pick and choose what you want to use. Don't feel like you have to use everything. But again, like from our billing tools to our network management tools to the website to the advertising, again, no one's forcing this on you. It's all completely free. And whatever you feel works best for your business. For some, the ads as they've been working really great. And, you know, again, there's definitely no complaints. But then I do understand and empathize with other people that they do want the ads a little bit differently. Like they want happy people. I totally understand that. But at the same time, I've also gotten requests for, can I get a more ethnic looking family that matches my demographics more? Again, we only have so much money to go around. We tried to do something that would fit almost everybody. So again, I apologize that we don't get everyone, but again, we tried to do something that would be appealing to the largest audience possible. Okay, so again, we have national ads starting on July 21st again. So hopefully you see them on Dish and DirecTV. For those of you who haven't joined up, go to goubiquiti.com/signup. If you have any questions or just need a little bit of help, I'm here for you. udubn@ubnt.com. That's the best way to reach me. And with that, I'm just going to hand it back to Chad at DoubleRadius, and he'll wrap everything up.
We thank everybody for attending today and for listening in. You will be emailed the field guide that was mentioned, as well as a link to the recording of the webinar. And if you can just take a moment here to just fill out the survey that will appear on your screen, we appreciate it very much, and have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.
Likewise, thank you.
Take care.